All right, this is for setting up. Here's Chinquan, who's gonna set everything up. We've got our 4 rods and then the 4 bolts and washers. And this is the bottom plate that's got more holes and the top plate that's got only 4 holes and they're wider. And then we use this 3 5/16 Allen wrench right here. So first we'll take the bottom plate and the 4 bolts over. They just go in the 4 corners. And then it lines up with the 4 corner screws on there, and you can hand tighten those. And then use the Allen wrench to just get them a little tighter, but not too tight so we don't damage the acrylic. Okay, now that we have these tightened, we're going to bring over our 4 rods, and they have threads on the bottom. So those are going to go into those outside holes right there, and then just hand tighten as much as you're comfortable with. They don't have a perfect tolerance for the holes, so we do not tighten them all the way down. That's probably about good. And then repeat that for each of the other 4 holes. Alright, once it's done, it'll look about like that. You can see they don't screw down all the way just because tolerance gets too hard and we don't want to push them too far. Once you do that, you're going to come grab your specimen and the top plate. Here we're using one of our failed specimens just for our first conceptual test. You're going to place that in the center, and then the top is just going to line up with those holes, and you're going to slide it down till it rests on top of the specimen, about as smoothly as you can get it. This one's broken, so it won't hold it up evenly. Next, we're going to set up the accelerometers. 2 are needed for this test. The other one is usually kept in this box. So you're just going to pull it out, and then it's going to attach to, there's an extra cable over there that it'll attach onto the end of after we pull off the cap on it. And then in a second, we will place one on this top plate here, just so you can see one's on this top plate that's floating above, and the other one we're going to actually place down here on the metal, and we'll show that process. And when we set up the accelerometers, they have a cord. We drape it around that power switch there. That's just where Dr. had us do it last time, so we're just going to follow with that. And for these little accelerometers, what we're going to do is actually take some wax and put on them. So the wax comes in these little blue, it's right next to the, it's right, yeah. So wax comes in a little blue container. Just put a little bit onto the end of the accelerometer, and that allows it then to be able to stick where we place it, just enough to keep it there. So that one we'll just place on the plexiglass, or the acrylic, not plexiglass, and fasten it on there. And then we'll place the second one. The second one already has wax on it, and we'll just place it on the metal part, right there. And now that's on there, then the test is set up physically. I just want to make sure that the wires aren't too tangled anywhere. They're not going to get caught in anything as it's raised up or dropped. And the machine itself has already been set up, so you can see the bungee there is attached, and you can kind of see the bungee right there is attached, as was shown in the previous video of just how to set up the entire machine. The air has already been turned on, so that's the setup.
have to use the slow-mo?
Yeah. So we'll use the slow-mo. So right now we're going to get set up with the camera. So you can take just whatever nice phone you have. And we've set this tripod here. So it's got the phone holder from our lab, Dr. Baird's lab, and using one of the tripods that come from the Smash lab. And we've just attached them together, just screwed them together. They already have their own attachment. And we'll set up the phone, make sure it's directed right at the impact zone right here, so it'll see the actual impact when the drop happens. And we'll start the slow-mo before we start the actual test. That's it for the setup, and then we're going to film a video of the test. That'll be a separate video.